DeepSeek ban on government devices. What are the concerns around that Chinese technology?
Well, with any application, with any app, our security agencies will assess them to understand, what doors are in effect being open to government networks in respect of where data is based, how it's processed, and the like. And in respect of this particular app, the advice is that it would represent an unacceptable risk to government networks to have this app on them, and we take that advice. We get that advice literally in respect of every app that we find on any government phone, on any government network, and it's important that that's done because in this day and age, you've got to be very vigilant about what doors you're opening and how we manage our most protected information. And it's as simple as that.
No, it makes sense, and the government's sort of responding to that advice. You're copying, or the Prime Minister's copying a bit of flack at the moment from the opposition leader over the caravan terror plot and not detailing what he knew and when. Should he be detailing when the advice was given to him? Because he has spoken about other times when security advice has been afforded to him.
Look, the management of information, in this instance originally by the New South Wales Police, we need to respect the way in which those police forces and other intelligence agencies, when it's their information, manage that. And there's good reasons why that information is at times kept out of the public domain. And when people are briefed and what they're briefed on, really this does get down to the operational, and there are moments where it's important that stays out of the public domain. So the Prime Minister is absolutely entitled to and right in not putting that out in the public domain. And the one person who really should understand this is the Leader of the Opposition. He's a former Home Affairs Minister. He's been responsible for the Australian Federal Police.
So you're saying it's a case-by-case situation. So on some occasions you can say, I received this information on that day for these reasons, but on other matters, you need to keep the cards to your chest.
And of course that is the case, and that's reflected in the way in which police forces and agencies maintain their own information. There are times in which police forces do put information out into the public domain for good reason. There are times where they don't for good reason. And that needs to be respected because these are operational matters and we need to let them manage those operations. What's important to understand is this. The Australian Federal Police have a task force which is focused on combating anti-Semitism. That's Operation Adelaide, and that is reflected in task force which exists in a number of the state polices around our countries. That's important to know. It's important to know that our police forces are being properly resourced in respect of those task forces, and they are. And it's important to understand that our police forces are working very closely together, coordinating in respect of what they do, and they are. And what underlay, the preparation of that caravan is obviously bigotry and prejudice and malevolent intent, and that has no place in our country, and we must condemn it. We also should recognise that this was a plot that was foiled, and our police forces are doing their job, and we need to let them do their job. And this should not be a matter which is politicised. And the fact that the Leader of the Opposition is walking down this path is deeply disappointing.
A couple of quick ones before you go. On the plans to tax super funds over $3 million, some fund managers are saying, what about politicians, those with defined benefits? Not you, but Prime Minister Albanese and others who've been here a long time. If you've got a benefit that's over $3 million, unrealised gains, will they be taxed like other people will be?
Obviously, I'm not going to go into individuals, but whatever reforms we put through will apply to everyone. I mean, the law that applies to one person out there in respect of defined benefit schemes will apply across the board, and that includes politicians. So funds on defined benefits will also be... Well, if they meet the criteria that we're talking about in terms
over
of the reforms, then what applies to one is going to apply to all.